Today I have for you a Turkish Orman. So you may want to know or ask, what is a Turkish Orman? It has similarities to the French Berthiers, and that's actually what it is made from. It's a conversion from the 1907/15 long rifles, and it's just been shortened, and nose cap and the stock and everything. In a sense, it is a French Berthier, except the Turkish modified it for their own use. It still uses the 8mm label. This ammo here, you know, the 8x51R label. This is only the 3-round end block clip versus the 5-round. And the Orman is forced, or the Forest Rangers. And looking up, they needed a Forest Service. They had walnut trees, and there was logging, clear cutting, illegal logging. So initially I had seen where possibly they used the Berthiers because of the caliber, which was, say, an uncommon caliber, and possibly, though, if you were shot and went to the hospital, then it wasn't that you got shot by a different caliber. They would say, hey, here's the bullet. So we know you was doing something. Also, in that, possibly that if they were stolen, they wouldn't be much of a use because of, again, the caliber, and that's what the Forest Rangers, the Forestry Service, used. I did a little bit more research, and it just recently came up. Somebody had looked more into it, and another possibility was that, yes, they needed to protect their walnut forest, and so they had, if you want to say, a division of the military service doing that. And they were using their 8mm Mausers, and after a certain period, you know, the soldiers rotated out and new ones had to come in and start all over and training and learning what they needed to learn, because they were, in a sense, part of the military, and there was just a branch division to do that. And this was saying that then they decided that they needed to start their own service, Forest Ranger service, that was separate from the military, that these people would actually be the Forest Rangers. They would be in there as their job, and then it wouldn't be a part of the military service. So in a sense, then, it would be almost like these would be the second line, because the military was using the 8mm Mausers, so they were needed for that role. So they fulfilled the Forest Ranger service with this conversion of the Berthier to fulfill that need for their Forest Rangers. So here's my Remington 1907/15, and there is a difference. You can tell that they've used the same bolt, and they've just turned it down some from being straight. They've modified the up here on the top handguard, and they did a new nose cap. But basically, then, everything else is going to be the same. The why, I don't know, that they didn't stay or use the model the model 1916, which is this one. This is maybe 3 inches shorter. This one does use the 5-round clip, but when they made this rifle, they kept the same curvature, so you could use the 3-round in the 5-round. So I'm gonna give you a closer look at the Orman, and then comparison between the long rifle and then the carbine, and then we'll do some shooting with this. So first I'm going to show you the Turkish Orman. Overall, this looks to be in really good condition. The stock looks in good condition. The wood, it does have the roundel here, which would be from the Berthier. And like I said, this has the same bolt, except it's been slightly turned down versus being straight. They did mark it, you know, the TC Orman. This was done in 1948. It is in-marked. But as you can tell, you know, they've an upper handguard here. And then they've got the nose cap with the protected ears for the front sight. And I'll turn this over, let you see the other side, and then I'll show you a comparison for the long rifle and the carbine. The stock is mismatching as far as the serial numbers to the actual serial numbers on the receiver up here. And like I said, it's the 1907-15. It's the Constanzusa. There's a serial number which is different on the stock. And this one is graduated out to the 8. And I'll put up the long rifle that it was taken from and shortened. And you can see the length difference from the original 1907-15 long rifle to what the Turkish did to make it into a carbine. You know, this is going to be the same up here on the bowl to the receiver. Like I said, this is my Remington. And there's the trigger there. And on the Orman, they graduated the sights on the Orman on the top. This is on the side, so the difference is across here on the original, and then here on the Orman, they marked them up there on the top. I can't tell without taking off the top handguard if this mounting system here is going to be the same. Overall, it looks like it's the same sight that they just grounded off on the side, and it could be still on there, but like I said, this is covering up this part, so they still could have the numbers there, but because of the top handguard, they just put it up there on the top. Change the barrel band here, and like I said, then they cut this down in the length. So what I'll do is I'll put up the model 1916 carbine and show you the differences on that one. So there's the overall difference in length between the three of them. The Turkish is in the middle. So the original French Berthier, you know, still going to be similar, you know, with the trigger guard and everything down through here, up on here for the bolt and the receiver. And you can see there is the difference of what, maybe 3 inches from the Orman to the Berthier. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll go over to my other bench and we'll do some shooting with this Turkish Orman and see how it does on paper. I went ahead and took the top handguard off, and they did keep the numbers there on the side, so those were hidden by the top handguard. And also in doing so, there's the importer's mark, which is nice, except I wish they hadn't like scrubbed the bluing off to do it. So there's the importer mark, 8mm Lebel, France. You know, kept the original sights. They just marked it on the top. I'm gonna put the handguard back on and we're gonna do some shooting. So we're gonna be shooting the PPU Full Metal Jacket Boat Tail 200 grain, 8x51R Lebel. This is the 3-round end block. This is the ammo. Fits in there. This right here pops it out if you need to. This does have the opening in the bottom, so when the last round is chambered, this end block clip will drop out. So we're going to take the 3 shots, see how well I do. With the chambering of the last round, the end block clip will drop out the bottom down here. There it is. Guess we'll go down, take a look at the target, see how well I did. There's my target, and I'm gonna say the 3-shot grouping is really good, except I'm way to the left. I was aiming right here to the 10, a little high, and I'm way to the left. So that's just a matter of adjusting my, say, point of aim, or, you know, drifting the front sight. But man, where I was trying to aim, you know, basically center. But overall, I think that grouping is really great out of that rifle, especially being, say, a mid-carbine length. So again, I appreciate everybody watching. Any comments about this rifle, if they've had any experience with it. Again, thank you.